Hi everyone, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how I've made this card here. It's using my latest 3D display die set, and you've got all these different frames. I've used the clock for this one and a mix of all the different additions to make this lovely birthday card. You've got lots of shine, you've got glaze there, you've got lots of dimension. It's a real tactile card. You've got space on the back here to write your message. And if you want, you can add lights. You can turn this into a gift box. I've sealed this one off. There's so many different ways to make this. Check out the playlist, and in there you will see all different ways to use this die set. It will also work really well with lots of things you already own and have in your stash. It's just basically a nice platform to be able to build any kind of scene for many occasions. So let's get started and I'll show you how I made this one. So I'm using the main 3D display cards and stand die set with the circular frame editions, and then the cheers and also the time editions. So I just talk through all the pieces that I've cut. So you want to cut yourself 3 of the long die here with all the shark's teeth, crocodile teeth. And I've used a 300 GSM cardstock for this. Anything above 220 will be fine for this one. You then want to cut the stand. So again, done that one in the same card. And then you want to cut 2 of the stand, the largest one in the white, and then I've cut the next size down in the holographic, and then the smallest one, and I've stamped the time to celebrate, which is from this one here. So just use that one, and I've heat embossed it. I've also then cut one of this one and this one in acetate. This is going to be to have the, I think, the sentiment swinging. I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm going to have swinging, but I've got those cut. And then these ones here are your builder dies. So you want to cut, you always want a pair. So if you want one, you need to cut 2 though, because you stick them back to back. I'm going to wait till later on and see how many I need and how I want to have everything displayed. And then on this side, you want to cut the largest circle. So that's the back of this display. And then I've cut the stitched and the scallop one, and that's going to go on the back, so I'm going to have my place to write my message. And then you want to cut another white circle using the largest die, but you also then want the smallest one. So just pop them together so you've got an equal ring, and then die cut so you have this. Okay, that's the platform to then attach this one on top, and I'll talk through that when we get to it. Okay, so you want to take these ones first. You're going to need 2. And you just want to curve them. So I just use my burnishing tool here and just add some shape. It's just going to make it much easier to stick them. Now, I'm trying to think the other tutorials I've already done. I have stuck them together. So this one I'm not going to, just to show you different ways to put it together. But if you want to have one long piece and then stick it around, you can. On one of them, you want to cut away at the end here where you've got the kind of straight edge. You've got your tab on this end. You'll see there's a little arrow just here. You want to cut across just on one of them, just above it. So like so. Okay. When they're now all joined together, that will make the perfect size ring to go around here. We couldn't have one long because it's just it would be too long. I mean, you wouldn't have a die that's that length, so we've just done it that way. And then another one, and then with this one you'll trim off that, and that will give you the perfect size for the base. If you are going to want to add lights, you might want to add your hole now rather than when you put it together, but you can also still do it when we put it together. I share that in the specimen box display tutorial. You don't need a hole punch. You can just use a pokey tool and just literally pierce through. It's only rice lights that need to feed through it. We decided not to add the hole because not everybody's going to want to use it for that, and if you're going to make it into a shaker and things like that, so we just decided to leave it plain. So I'm trying to do all the tutorials slightly different. So on the specimen box, I use glue to stick all this down. But on this one, I'm going to use double-sided tape. So I'm actually out, I think, of red liner tape. So I would recommend red liner because it's much stickier. But this will still work. But I'm just going to use my tape and run it right along up to the score line there. Oh, that's another thing. I always go over the score lines as well. So just pop it in your scoreboard. And just find a track and just go back over the score lines that the die has made. So you can see there just as an example. So just go back over all of those. So liquid glue or double-sided tape is entirely up to you. Just take the backing off. I am actually going to attach these so it's one long piece. I think on the other one I didn't. So like I said, I'm just trying to make sure I've got a nice mix of tutorials showing different ways. So just stick that to the other one. Just hold that there for a second. And then I'll just take the backing off of that bottom part as well. And then anywhere on the circle, it doesn't matter, but you want to stick these teeth on the inside. So you want to make sure that this folded side is sitting on the edge of the circle there. So I'm just going to tack that down. So once you've got that one in place, and then you can just work your way around. You want to get it right to the edge. And then just before you get to the edge, just add a bit more liquid glue so that can go under. You can then go in and just secure that a little bit more, just add a little bit of pressure. Okay, so that's all stuck down. I've then cut another one of the same size on the back. This one I'm going to add my construction glue to, and we're going to stick it inside. It will be snug, you want it to be, but it's going to cover all of those teeth. Just drop that one in. Ooh, like so. Just push that down, then I like to just go in with my bone folder there and just spread that out. And it will then really give you that nice circular shape as well. So if you have gone a little bit wonky and this isn't going in, that will be why. But you could just trim a little bit off if you're worried that it's not going to fit. Now I'm going to take the backing off of all of this here, and you're going to take the ring and you're going to do exactly the same. I like to start from the join and stick it right to the edge, and then just carefully work your way around, just pinching it all in together. I'm using my index finger here to keep the shape, and then I'm just pinching it underneath. You'll see there it all fits together like so. Now if you wanted to turn this into a shaker, you could add acetate behind this, and again you'll see them in other samples, but we're going to keep it like so. I've got the joins either side, so I have them, so I've got the biggest portion at the top and then the two kind of joins on the left and the right here. Now if you want to stick a background on here, just cut, you know, a smaller size down with the nested circles, because that could fit in, you know, and you can have some maybe pattern paper and stuff. But I've got all of these pieces here that I've die cut. Now these are all a mix of icons from the, mainly all from this one here, the Cheers set, but I have taken the clock from the Time set there, which is here. But I've got loads of them. I've paper pieced them all together. So you've got all your different bottles here. You've got your beer there. You've got champagne. I love the little corkscrew. I've just you know, cut them in all different colours and cut different bits off and then just piece them back together. You've got the corks there. You've got beer caps or bottle tops. We've got the little token there again. Another champagne. So I've got all of those, and then I've also cut the clock here. Now the good thing about this is you can, when you cut it, I'll just show you how the dies come. So you've got a plain circle there, so if you just want a big ring to, you know, decorate and do whatever with, then, you know, you can do. I think it would make a really nice pond, so this could be the, you know, or a pool as well, swimming pool, so you could have people swimming, you know, or fish swimming and stuff. I think that's going to look really sweet as well. But when you cut this, you've actually then got a whole set of numbers. So I've got the number dies, which are this new set here. You can see there, you get loads. It's a really, really lovely set. These are the same style numbers, but just smaller. So if you want to mix them together, and, you know, we've all got different ways we like to use things. So don't throw away all of the numbers when they cut. So, and then when you've cut them all, you could then cut this. So you've got the plain ring, and then lay out the numbers in a different order. You might want to have them all crazy. You might be doing like an Alice in Wonderland theme and the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, and have all of the numbers bunched together. You can do lots of different things with it, because you've got the hands here and also in the main set there as well, and you've got the face, and I'll be sharing that in a fun tutorial as well. I'm going to stick this one on the top, and then I'm going to start building everything up. You might want to do it the other way round, but I'm going to do it this way. I like to kind of have this all down, and then I can see how my decoration is going to look. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So whilst that's drying, I'm going to put this one together. So again, you've got this one, you would have just trimmed off the edge. I'm going to add my double-sided tape again down each side. Then you want one of these. I like to start with the tab end, and then again I'm just going to stick that one down like so. So you want that, so that forms a nice right angle, okay, because you're going to be adding the other bit. And then again, just kind of pinching it as you work around that arch. Oh, I didn't cut the end off this one. That's all right, because I'm sure people are going to do what I do. So I'm just going to carry on sticking it. There we go. So I can just trim across. I'll leave all these bits in, because I think it's good to see if you do similar. There we go. Don't use your best scissors. And then take the other one. And again, get that nice and straight with the bottom, and then work your way. It's always easier putting the next one on because you've kind of got the shape there. And as you bring it round, you've got quite a bend. Like so. You see it, but bend it right in. Okay, and you'll see it will stand up nicely. Then I'm going to add my glue onto the tab and attach this one. You might want to do this before. So lots of the steps you can do in different orders. I'll try and do different sequences in all the tutorials. Now, if you're going to add lights, then this is where you'd hide your battery pack, and I'm sharing that in other tutorials. You might want to add some weight to this. You could put some sand in here, but I'm just going to seal this off completely. So what's going to happen, if you just want it so that it opens, you'll see that that will all slot in like so and close up. Okay, and it stands. But I'm going to add my glue all down the side here on both sides and at the end, and then just close it up. Okay, so whilst that's drying, I'm going to add the swing part. I'm going to have this sentiment swinging. So you want to take, if you've used my swing collection before, it's the same mechanism. So you've got a fold in the middle, so you can just fold the whole thing in half so the holes line up, and then there's little score lines at the top there just above my thumb, so just fold them back like so. Okay, so you should have that shape. I'm then going to add my glue just to one half, just on that part. Leave the tabs clear and then fold that. So now you've got something like this. Okay, I'm then going to use my brads. Get a colour that's going to match your design, but you can also cover it as well. I'm actually going to use a white one. And I'm going to take my acetate piece, and there's a hole at the top. That's going to sit behind or in front, it's actually up to you. Pop the brad through, flip it over, and then just split the pin open. And I like to use your pokey tool or something and open it over that so it's kind of free, and that way this will move really freely. So when you open it, don't have it like really squashed against it, just let it hang like so. Then you're going to add your glue to the ends there, and then I'm going to stick this just below the 12, but I'm going to have the edge here so it runs, so it hits the back of the box here. So if I stick this in first and then show you, it make more sense. You should be able to see in here. There we go. So you can just see how I've attached that. So the back of it is hitting the back there. But now, can you hear it knocking? Just means you've got a nice free movement. And then I can attach this. Now I do want to have it a little bit higher because I'm going to have a lot of decoration. So I'm going to snip a little bit off of this, because you can, everything that you stick on this will be different. So I'm just going to trim a bit away there, and then I'm going to take some of the double-sided tape and just pop a bit on the back there. Again, you can attach this before as well. There's lots of different sequences to doing this. Okay, it's hard for you to see, but well, you can see it there, but you can't see it moving, but it does just dangle there. I think it looks really cool. And just make sure when you pop it on its stand that it's going to hang nice and straight, which that does. So that's the next stage. So I've got my hot glue gun here, so I'm just going to add some glue there. If you want to decorate this portion here, you've got the matte layer here, so just cut that and stick that down first. I'm going to keep it white because again I'm decorating this a lot, so you're not really going to see it. And then I'm just going to place that down on top. Just hold that there for a second. You can apply some pressure inside there as well. And then I'm going to stick that one on the top. You could pop it underneath as well. Maybe I will actually. I'll just have that one underneath slightly. So I'm just going to add my glue. I'm going to get this one stuck down on the back. I'm going to use my construction glue because this is just going to make it nice and strong. Okay, so now to decorate. So I've cut myself 6 of these to make 3 of these little, I guess let's call them again a platform. You want to just fold the little tab out and you're going to add your glue all to this part, and then take another one and stick that down with the tab folded out that way. You then add your glue and you attach this the same way that you would have attached if you've done the swing part there. But you can have these anywhere you want along the side. They've got a slight curve that matches the curve of the circle. But by sticking them in, you've then got this platform to be able to attach, you know, like the cork, for example. So I could have this one, you know, say the cork's on there and it's all stuck in, but can you see then that would be inside? It just adds a lot more depth to the card. When I said about a pond, you could have different fish attached to this, or acetate strips, and then the fish, you know, so they're all different heights, so it looks like you're adding depth to the card. So they're there if you want to use them, but it just looks a lot neater than just adding a splodge of glue and then trying to attach that, for example. Okay, so I only ended up using 1 pair of those, but I stuck everything else down. I really like it. I think it looks so cool. I just bring it up there, you can see all the detail, and then the happy hour moves. But I just want to add some glaze. So I think the cork can definitely be glazed. I glazed all of the happy hour sentiment inside already beforehand, but I'm just going to add this all over. I don't want to get it on the mirrored card, so I'm just going to go right up to the edge there. So the cork's covered. I've done the top of the cork there, the corkscrew, and the tops of the bottles. But also, if you want to do really small areas, I'm just laying some of the glaze down there, just in the middle, and then onto these smaller bits. So I've not gone to the edge yet. And then if you just use a piercing tool, and you can just drag the glaze right up to the edges. And it's a really nice way just to add that shine just to certain parts of an image or a die cut. I can't really have a card without using this. So it's now a few weeks later, different coloured nails. I always forget sometimes to do the intro and the outros to the videos. Sometimes I just get straight into them and make them and then stop filming, go on and do something else. And then when I go to edit, I realise I need to add in the beginning and the end of the videos. So anyway, here's the finished card. All that lovely accent glaze is all dry. Although I've noticed this one does really match my nails well now. So it's kind of worked out. The happy hour swings really nicely inside. And yeah, just thoroughly enjoyed making this one, just like all the others. It's such a fun style. I've already been seeing so many of you sharing your different versions on our Facebook group, Mixed Up Crafters. So if you're not a member, head over there if you're on Facebook and join. You'll get so much inspiration. It's such a lovely group. As always, I will have linked below the video all of the products that I've used in this video. This, I think at the minute, the main mechanism is now sold out, but the link will still be there to take you to it. And what you can do is leave your email next to the item, and then you'll be notified when it's back in stock. It has been reordered, so it will be back in, but I believe the frames, although there's low stock, should still be available. As always, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed today and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any future videos. See you all again soon. Bye.